someone's going to say something about it. And then there are logical exploits. You just have bad logic in your system, and audits do a very good job to help with this. But just having a very skilled development team that understands how these systems work and has been monitoring all the exploits that have gone into the space over the past couple of years, which I have. People that know me know that I told people about the Zen exploit 2 days before it happened. I told people about the elephant exploit 3 months before it happened. Uh, I mentioned an exploit in another project that I don't want to name that far before it happened. We've never had a major exploit or bugs in any of our projects. We've never lost investor capital due to a bug or exploit. And people that have been involved know that we have backups just in case something does happen, which prevents people from actually being able to remove liquidity in the case of an exploit, and that is lockup periods. So, for example, if they tried to do a flash loan, they couldn't, because a flash loan you have to repay back the loan by the end of the block. But we have 4-hour withdrawal periods on our pools and farms, which means it's impossible. We have a 24-hour lockup on our dog pound. Everything has been covered from a logical perspective, and we this is something that we do very well, and this is the reason why we've never lost investor capital, and we won't, right? Because I look at people, I see your avatars, I speak to you guys every day. I know there's people who have kids and they have their kids' money in here, and I know people that have had their houses saved due to the projects that we have. I don't look at people as addresses, right? I know that there's individuals behind every address, and they work very hard for their money, and this money would have a significant impact on their life, and I understand that, and I'm serious about protecting their capital. And this is why when I made a change and made an adjustment to Animal Farm, I didn't make the adjustment, say, okay, let's go live tomorrow. No, I put it off so we could have a new audit done, so we could open up the public testing. You're not going to find another development team in DeFi that takes security as serious as we do.
So,
And that's why
Forex,
all of our competitors have been hacked and exploited and wrecked, but we haven't ever.
we had an update here about, I think, a month ago, where the risk rating for drip was dropped from high risk to low risk on one of the major websites. I can't remember if it was DApp Radar or it was DApp Bay. It was one
Yeah,
of those two, and the other one is
yeah,
still listed as a high risk. On social media, like I'm over on Twitter, we'll see people that use that as an argument against drip, saying like, well, look, it's considered a high risk. It's even from Binance's own team. I know you've been in active attempts of trying to have those not negotiations, but those communications, right, with their team, and it's just a due
uh-huh.
process with all of that. Obviously, the Animal Farm is just a couple days away. This isn't a community question. This is just more of like me throwing my 2 cents in. I'm hoping that after the launch of the Animal Farm, you could take a little bit more time, if it's possible, to try and explore getting that resolved. Because again, from a
Yeah,
public standpoint, the question is, what are people using against drip to try and prevent people from coming in? And that is a very simple thing that could be corrected as long as you actually get that communication with those people. And I think that could open up a
yeah.
lot more doors of people willing to come in, give it an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? It's just a simple little thing, and it could go a long way. So I just wanted to kind
Yeah,
of throw
just so
that
you
out there.
know, that's not Binance that's doing that. That's a rating, a third party rating thing that like Dap Radar,
I
that
thought they were owned
for
by
whatever
Binance.
reason Binance utilizes them, but they're a separate thing. But it is yeah, Binance does reference them though, so it would be good to get that removed. Now the reason why they place that on Drip, and the reason why Dap Radar placed that on Drip, is because uh, twofold. One of them is because all of these daily ROI projects that came out before Drip, and all of the ones that came out after Drip, that did a half-assed job and had bad intentions, and you know did what they did. There was all those projects that promised 20% ROI, 5% ROI, or even 1% ROI, but the dev controlled 99% of the tokens at launch. All of those things happened for a very long time before I built Drip, and it really created a bad stigma for these kinds of projects. And then I do a good solid one, and but we get lumped in with them, right? And it was and then a bunch of people fork Drip. They all do a bad job. They all started getting moved into high risk, and we got moved into high risk with them. Now I was able to talk to Dap Radar. I asked Radar why they did it, and what they said was because we had basically a multi-level referral system. So they're saying it has like a pyramid scheme type mechanic. And I was able to go with them and explain to them this is not the case, and this is the same reason that the other DAP one did it. So I was able to go over with them and explain to them that no, the reason why a pyramid scheme is unsustainable and the reason why it is a high risk model is because multiple people are being paid out referrals on every action, and the larger the system grows, the more referrals are getting paid out for each action. With an increased referral percentage, the higher you go up in the chain, the earlier you enter, and eventually that becomes unsustainable because you have someone makes a buy or a deposit, and you have a 2% referral on the person that referred them, and then a 5% on the person that referred them, and then a 10%, and it goes up the chain, and eventually that just becomes completely unsustainable. Whereas Drip is a completely different model. With Drip, when you do a deposit, one person gets the referral bonus, and everybody gets the same size referral bonus. So it's just like an Amazon, it's just like a PayPal. PayPal, when it first came out, had an extremely aggressive referral system, and it was very, very similar to what we're doing. The two things that make a that change something or that distinguish a pyramid scheme or multi-level marketing from a traditional referral structure is one referral bonus is paid out per purchase or per deposit, and capital is not flowing upstream and concentrating at the top. And Drip does both of these things very effectively. It only pays out one referral bonus per deposit. That referral bonus size is the same for everybody unless you have 5 or more direct referrals, in which case you have a smaller referral bonus. And the other 25% of the bonus that you don't get goes to the people below you. So it's actually sending capital downstream, the inverse of a pyramid scheme. And then also, a team can only be 15 levels deep, which prevents capital from concentrating at the top, because it has a round robin system where it directs back to the person that did the direct referral. And for all of these reasons, we don't have the risk that a pyramid scheme or multi-level marketing does. And in fact, we're more efficient and more fair than even a traditional referral structure like a PayPal or like an Amazon. And I explained this to DAP Radar, and they removed us from high risk because they actually took the time to do the research and learn about it and listen to us. Now with BSC, I had one of my developers get in contact with them. My developer asked if they would have a conversation with me, and they denied it. And then I had multiple people reach out to them, and they have been completely unresponsive. I've reached out to them through 4 or 5 different parties, and they don't want to hear it. They want nothing to do with it. They're closed-minded, and they want to gatekeep, and that's what they want to do.
So now, let's focus on that for 1 second to interrupt you. This is with BSC, right?
Well, this is with like DAP or something, which is a third-party rating service that they're using.
Anyone that's listening, right? If you happen to have a connection of somebody that works there at DAP Bay, is what you said?
I think it's DAP Bay.
Okay, DAP Bay. I say DAP, but yeah, DAP. So DAP Bay. If anyone knows anyone that works there, if you have a potential connection to there, the fact that they're not giving Forex an opportunity, I think is completely unfair. He should be given the grounds to be able to explain his project and not have assumptions be made, especially when other projects are giving him that opportunity and adjustments are being made. Right after that explanation goes on, they understand it. The problem is that he's not getting the opportunity to be able to talk about it. So if anyone's listening, you want to help out, you ask around, see if you can find that connection, and reach out through the Telegram group. Talk to somebody like Ray, aka Bartertown. Maybe send a DM to Forex Shark himself. Like collectively, we can try and make these changes. And I don't think that we should just rely on Forex Shark to find these solutions all the time by himself. Sometimes you could have the right connection that could open up that door. So if you guys are listening, see if you can help open this door for him. It's going to affect all of us.
And just so you know, the reason why they gave my dev, who did initially get the connection with them, the reason why they gave was the exact same reason that DAP Radar gave, which they removed because it wasn't true. So they're going off this false assumption, and they're not even willing to look at the contracts or hear me out. But this is not something that we're going to give up on. But just so you know, the average person is not looking at this rating service, and the average person is getting onboarded by someone in the community. They're hearing about it from someone in the community. They're using MetaMask. They're not getting any of these warnings. They're not looking at these rating services. So yes, it's not good if someone goes to that rating service specifically to find a project they want to invest in, and then they don't see us on the regular list, that's not good, obviously, but that's also not really happening. That is not how people are being onboarded into Drip. People are being onboarded into Drip through the community, and they're never even hearing about this rating thing unless someone specifically brings it up. But with that said, it's still something that we want to work on, and like clearly, I am working on it because we got that radar to remove it, and it's going to be just a matter of time. But I mean, how long does Drip have to go for before you decide it's not high risk and it's sustainable?
Right.
And also, the reasons why you made it high risk are just
yes or no.
we don't have a system that pays out multiple referrals on each deposit. We don't have an increased referral size as you go further up, and capital is not allowed to concentrate at the top because we have a limit on the on how high referrals can be paid out. And the most important part, only one commission is paid out per deposit, just like PayPal, just like Amazon, and we have a structure effectively the same as PayPal's initial referral system, only we're able to do it in a more fair, decentralized way because it's a DeFi.